So I thought it would be appropriate to start with a poem I wrote that's set on the tube. So slightly, just a little track connection for you there. And this is something I wrote when my daughter was about 6 months old, and I was struggling with a bit of kind of postnatal anxiety, and I wrote this. It's got a run-on title, so I'll introduce it and then go straight into it. It's called In the Wet Aired Trenches of the Tube, I was a tigress, cub in jaw, sniffing out cordite and saltpeter, spying war shapes in the dark. I saw the parched black mouth of the track, a long marauding animal, limbless slither, crab apple on tongue. My child, months from the womb, hung from my teeth. I ferried her by the neck and saw her death everywhere. I hung on the grit-kissed wall until the train pummeled in to replace imagination. Forgive me, I saw things I couldn't tell my therapist. I mauled thought to silence and counted my steps and talked to myself in dissertation. I saw others, smelt their milk in the slow lifts, smiled at their litters and wondered if they too saw their babies fall, if they fought escalators tumbling with fear, if we were all staring down the same muzzle, waiting for the grip to drop from our own hands. Hey, thank you. It's always nice to get an audible clap. It's so rare these days. Read into that what you like. This is called Magic Number. If you want to know, I'll tell you about having an affair with your own husband, storing your pulp in a jar for later, the unkissed curve of thigh on him as he carries her to bed, about pushing through idiots at Old Street with third date fever, thinking only of home and her small face broadening, her elephant dance to my knees. Between us, we chase the 9 invisible points of a circle, lights flicking off and on in the circuit board of our home, where the neighbors rain flowers on each other all night, throat ache red and flashing blue, but always a smile for our sunshine. There is a rainbow on our window. There is a shadow over our bed. We prop our couch cushions to the downstairs glass, meet in borrowed light while evening preheats across the marsh. My face in his neck, like it's the last time. I've been writing a lot of stuff that's about, I guess, kind of the family unit and parenthood, and the kind of intersection between parenthood and personhood, which can be a tricky one sometimes. This is called T minus 40 weeks. 2 people in love break apart in reverse. Smashed fizz flute of hamstring snaps back into curve. Fist plums into palm. A lick of fresh chromosome sinks in your throat. We are unkissed, busy under our lamp of hall light, grown against loving, split at the apex, spill into river, knowing this is how we make room. Our fingers leave prints. The bed dips in the middle. This is a poem about my dad. It's called Maybe. It's Saturday and Dad is naked, sitting in the window of his and Mum's bedroom, looking out on the front garden. White Astra, Horseshoe Viburnum, and the crossroad that regularly brings crash victims to our door for ambulance calls in a time before mobiles. Dad, briefcase swinging father of 6, is naked, arcing in the window, one dangling leg like a loose question mark. And he is singing to the blue sky, cock, balls and all. I am too small to reach the window ledge, big enough to understand he's not singing because he is happy. Someone he loves has died, maybe. Or he's killing the shadow of a life my mother lived before they met. I don't know. I don't know if this incident occurred before or after the failed suicide attempt Mum will tell me about 2 decades after Dad, bearer of business trip t-shirts slashed with Manhattan's broken half smile, dies of natural causes. And 1 decade after my first love follows my first lust into a nightclub with a knitting needle in his trouser lining and deep throats half a bottle of coproximol. There is so much I don't know about this window incident. Sometimes I think I made the whole thing up, except I didn't. Except I made up the bit about Saturday. I don't know what day of the week it is when my father, who believes in God, is so sad he takes off his clothes and climbs halfway out of a window. Or how many windows he climbed out of when I wasn't looking. Or if people sometimes remove their clothes when they want to remove their skin. My dad, who once auditioned for a role in Hair, has a good voice, and when he sings, he can be heard by all the angels I don't believe in. And the people on the crossroad, coat-wearing strangers who could die at any moment. Right, this is going to be my last one. Thanks again for asking me to be part of your night, Sue, and congrats, and have a wonderful night. Enjoy it. This is something I wrote after watching Stormzy's Glastonbury set from, when was that? It was a couple of years ago. It was at a time when people could also actually go to Glastonbury and be there in person, but I wasn't because I was busy being a parent, but also kind of being hungover at home in my own way. So this is called Stormzy and My Daughter. She wakes at 6, bonsai in a wood of straight lines, book between her teeth. There is a witch, a ginger plat, dog, bird, frog, dragon. Night still in my bones, I beg gravity for patience, but my kneecaps are obtuse, angles collapsing. We fall into morning. 2 slices, no sugar, Glastonbury on the iPlayer. Our sweat unscented by portaloos, fire pit smoke, knock-off highs or the hope of a nameless mouth. 200,000 warm skulls, webs of gland. And Stormzy, orange joggers, choir, confetti, our sofa a pew hard as shellac. Now it is more comfortable to stand. Now it is more comfortable to reach, as if a better me lived in the ceiling to bend. Head low, arse high, hair the rolling wave of 1,000 lighters, but this isn't lighters waving. It skyrockets. Bass, ballet, and fuck Boris. And if we could, and come, and here I am unwound, footwork and wilding. Little tree, cross-rooted, follows feet like a magician's cups. I pour and we are up, down and spinning. Sometimes I live so long without music inside me, I forget there is living in its wavy lines, that blood needs cadence, this living left in all the spaces before I became. Dive bars and dance halls, dirty raves, year 10 dry ice and parquet, hips quicker than Clint, how the podiums found me, how I would teach a room to move, body lapping a mind that ran behind, burning blister and love. She laughs. We rise from the ditch, blinded by grace. Thank you.
Amy, that was beautiful. All of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well,